Welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie. This is the Katiecatnails channel, and I do nail stuff. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And let's go ahead and get into my acrylic fill process. So today I am doing a quick little fill on my left hand. I am using the Mia Secret Cover Rose. I really do like Mia Secret acrylics. They're great for beginners. I know that they're not like, a super high-end brand, but, Mia Secret does work for me most of the time for most situations, so that's what I tend to buy. We're going to ignore the fact that I tried to put my sanding band on the wrong end of the drill bit, okay? So this is the new, handheld drill from Melody Susie, and I am putting a 240 Grip Melody Susie sanding band on her, and I did set my drill to 4 RPMs. I had already kind of sort of prepped my nails. Well, I removed any lifting, and I smoothed out the the area where the acrylic met the new growth a couple days before, or the day before I did this video. So all I really needed to do was go in and clean up the cuticle area a little bit. Thankfully, lately, my cuticles really haven't been that bad, so I didn't have that much to do. But I do have some weird areas of growth due to the skin that was affected by an allergy that I had actually around this time last year. So I do often have to do a little bit more buffing and what's the word for it? Exfoliating around my cuticles, just because I do get some dry built up areas just because of the way that the skin grows now. But it's usually taken care of by the sanding band and by the ball bit. So I did choose a medium-sized ball bit for the cleanup around my cuticles today. I believe that I had this set to, again, maybe like 3 or 4 RPMs. And I was going very, very gently. You also want to make sure that you're not putting a lot of pressure when doing this, because you can strip back more skin than you meant to. So do be aware of that. If you're literally pulling a sheet of skin as you're doing it, I suggest that you stop and clip that part off before you end up with one of those weird skin hangnails, because those things really suck. So yeah, I just went around all of the nails with the ball bit. Again, I just wanted to clean up some of the drier areas, and lift up a little bit more of the stuff off of my nail plate. So now I am going in with some, I believe it's 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I am just going to thoroughly cleanse. I am a little bit rough with myself. That's why my cuticles are getting a little bit red. Just because I do so much around the house and that involves water, that I really, really try not to get any lifting as much as possible, because especially with my hands always in water pretty much. I don't like to get greenies or anything like that, because my nails are already thin. And although greenies are, yes, just bacteria trapped under your nail from loose extensions, they can cause a condition that can soften your nail plate. So that's just something to be aware of. Greenies themselves are not a big deal, but you don't want to develop anything that is going to affect, the skin or your nails or anything. You know what I mean? So just try to avoid that as much as possible. Do good prep. Here I'm going in with the Mia Secret dehydrator. Then I do go in with the Young Nails Protein Bond. This is my favorite primer. And then I do also back up this primer with the Mia Secret pH bond as well. I just like to have a double layer, and I did find that since I started doubling up that I do have much better retention. So that's just how I do it, and I'm very careful not to get any of this on the skin around my nails at all, just trying to be very, very careful of that. So I will be going in with some Mia Secret monomer. I only needed a very small amount because I'm pretty good with my fill-ins. I don't tend to waste a lot of products when I do my fill-ins. it's easier for me to keep up with bead size and proportions the less time that I sit there and do my nails, because the longer I sit and do my nails, like the more I want to mess with it. Like, I don't know, it's just like a fun thing for me. So sometimes I have an issue with like bead consistency and like paying attention and like actually building the nail the way I'm supposed to. You'll see that a couple times here. I had to go in a little bit harder and like try to pat down some drier acrylic beads that I put down. And then you'll also see just a couple things like here with the thumb. I definitely put too much acrylic the second time, and you will see that I had to go around and scoop it out from under the nail. Well, not scoop it, but I use the brush to reshape the underside of the nail. Yeah, so that right there was what I was talking about, how I slid my brush underneath. Always make sure that before you put on your gel or anything else, especially if you are messy like me, that you wash the extra monomer off of your hands as soon as you're done applying your acrylic. You know, just make sure you go give them a quick scrub with some soap and water. You should be doing that anyway before applying gel or any other products, but you know, definitely at least the monomer. So in case if you're wondering, I do keep my thumbs short on both hands just because I like to game, and especially with one of my mobile games that I play, it's hard to tap all the areas on the screen that I have to tap with the correct part of my finger if I have my nails too long on my thumbs. So that is why moving forward I will be doing my thumbs short. I know it looks a little funny, but I mean they still looking good, you know what I mean? I still keep them looking cute and stuff. They a little short and nubby. So yeah, I'm just making sure, you know, I'm only picking. If I see that the bead polymerizes like really, really quick, like it's going to be a super runny bead, I will drain a little bit of the liquid off on the paper towel. And then I will go ahead and go in with the bead from there. As you can see, I did that here. I accidentally drained off a little bit too much liquid though, or I think this was I was on the phone with my friend Jess from Jessica's Nail Studio, and I was doing this video at the same time. I'm forever trying to multitask. Don't come for me. It's just one of those things, you know what I mean? If I don't, it's like sometimes I have to find another activity like ASAP, especially if I'm doing like a rinse and repeat process, like refilling my nails. Or it's not that I get bored like while I'm still doing something, it's that sometimes I'll get stuck. So it's like if I don't keep myself continuously stimulated, I don't know, it's like a weird thing. I don't know what it is, but anyway, so as you can see at the end, when I'm doing my refills, I always like to reshape the nail. I mean, you should be doing that anyway, but if you don't and you're dealing with shape issues, that could be why. So what I'll do is I'll take in the sides. Like I wanted these a slight bit more tapered than I had them the first time, so I did take the sides in a little bit. I'm gonna do like a really detailed kind of like how I get my shaping video at some point, but yeah. So I like to take in the sides at the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll go back in with some fresh acrylic. I'll place it at the tip, and I will kind of reshape the tip to my image going upward, as you saw me do on the ring finger. Now this finger, when I was finished and applying my gel polish in the next video that I'm gonna edit soon, I did notice that this middle finger here, I did have some I did flood my cuticle in like a weird way. Like it wasn't the whole cuticle, but it was like one little tiny spot that I must have pushed the acrylic up too far while it was wet, and it stuck to my cuticle. So I did have to go in after this video and kind of pick that off and smooth that back out. So just be careful when you are laying your cuticle beads that you kind of slide your brush around the outside edge, kind of in like an arc motion, just to make sure that anything that may or may be sticking to the cuticle is at least removed for the most part, because that can cause like your skin to get really tight and stuff, and you really should not be leaving any type of product on your skin, even if it's like a super small amount at the cuticle like that. So now I did finish my application. I did the rest of my nails off camera, and I'm just going in with an 80 grit file from Pana. I do like to use the 80 grit to get like the basics of what my shape is going to be. And you know, a little bit of debulk shaping. So that's what I like to use for that. You know, if I notice that like, okay, well, this side's like wicked bowed out on this side, I'll use the 80 grit on my first stage of filing, which is this stage right here. I break everything down into stages for myself, whether I'm editing or doing my nails or whatever. Like literally it's step by step by step. I have, even 2 years later, I have to remind myself of the steps. So if you're having a hard time remembering like the order you're supposed to do things, seriously, write it down on a piece of paper, like step by step, and then until you have your process down, revert back to that list. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing whatever you have to do to be able to do the things that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like if you're struggling with shaping, or if you're struggling with like remembering dehydrated before primer, write it down. Write yourself a note. Write your steps. You know, write a little explanation if you need to, or like something that'll trigger your memory, and go by your list. You know, follow your list so that you can learn your routine, what works for you. You know, because what I do may not work for you, and I've picked and choose a lot of different parts of what I've learned from different people, because something that one person may not work for me, but something else that they do does. But then there was somebody else who explained the first thing better than that person, or that I liked the way that, you know, that person explained it and made more sense to me, like the way they explained the motion or whatever it is. Sometimes it's you gotta have the right person teaching you, you know, you gotta have the right steps. So if there's no one teaching you, honey, make your own steps, okay? Definitely do things the safe way and like the correct way when it comes to, you know, sanitation and safety practices. But make your own process, learn your own process. And I promise you, things are going to get a lot better, a lot better. But yeah, so that's why I use the 80 grit. And that just helps me get like a solid shape without having to do too much filing. Now I am going in with the extra fine bit from Pana. For this, I do have a debulking bit from Melody Susie, but because it's a refill, I didn't really have much debulking to do. But yeah, so this is and I have it at a speed of 18,000 RPMs, and I am just gently, slowly, cautiously going around the cuticle area, making sure that if there are any weird like overlapping spots in the cuticle area, that I smooth those out. I make sure that there's no product stuck to the skin that will cause lifting. I am, as you see, I'm kind of removing a little bit of the acrylic from the sides. A good tip for you is if you got your shape on point and then you lay your acrylic and you keep filing the side and you keep filing the side and you're still having an issue with like your nails being too thick or too round or too bulky, try removing some of the acrylic in an arc across the nail, as I'm doing right now, from the side little by little. And sometimes you're gonna see that the reason that your nail looks too wide isn't because the nail tip or like the structure underneath, it's because the acrylic on top is too thick and you need to remove more. That's one thing that I had to learn, and since I learned that, my shaping has been so much better. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful ladies that do acrylic nails. One of the big ones that I try to catch is Miss Jeannie at Jeannie Nails SC. I think Jeannie, the real Jeannie. I'll link her down below or I'll put it up on the screen. I think it's the real Jeannie NC, or the Nail Jeannie. I think it's the Nail Jeannie NC. Anyway, yeah, she does a lot of how to acrylic and product videos. I was actually just watching one of hers the other day where she was doing different ways of encapsulating So she did like gel, polygel, acrylic. I missed the first couple she did, so I'm not sure what those were. But yeah, there's a lot of information and a lot of different people showing the same things, but sometimes you just need like a fresh face. So, you know, definitely check out different nail artists and stuff, see how they do things, because like I said, it's all in what works for you, you know, and if something ain't working for you, you need to change it. So now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to refine the shape, soften any harsh ridges or lines that the tornado bit, the 5-in-1 bit, I'm sorry. It's the extra fine 5-in-1 bit from Pana. But it does leave grooves, not like crazy grooves. You'll know what I mean if you've ever used like a 5-in-1 bit. So before I go in the buffer, I do like to just kind of buff those out. I also like to clean up underneath a little bit more, soften up the tip some more, you know, do a little bit more refining on the shaping without taking away too much, because the 80/80 grit it's very rough, you know, so you don't want to remove too much bulk sometimes. And sometimes you're like, okay, I'm at that point where, yeah, like I got my shapes here, but I really want to work on that, like that bow right here, like that curve around the edge of your finger, like where your nail curves around. So, you know, sometimes it's better to go in with like a softer file, you know, because you can always, you know, take away a little bit more. You can't add more I mean, you could technically add more product, but you don't want to be adding more product to your nail because you took too much off of one spot. You know what I mean? Okay, so now I'm going in with my buffing block, and I like these little ones because they allow me to get like really, really close to the cuticle. And as you can see, I'm going around the whole nail. I try to remind myself, because this is a new step in my process, to buff the sides and the tip of the nail. I'm new to doing that as a regular thing, but it also helps refine your shape. Like it's a great little thing to add on to your shaping process. For me personally, I mean, it was a game changer. It gives like a little, just like a smidge more, I don't know how to say it like without rambling. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, I don't know where I got these little buffers from. I know I got some from Susie at Susie's Nail Cues, and I know I got some from Jess at Jessica's Nail Studio. I don't remember if I've gotten any from Melody Susie, so unless some came in the box that I got back in December, but I don't remember. I don't remember December, guys. I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah, so I'm just buffing the nails. I hope you guys don't mind today's video. It's been a while since I did a video like this where I just did my nails and kind of chatted. I do have some older videos that are more like this, but I got away from it. I started doing my nails a little bit differently. But you notice how I pointed out that the side of that nail was a little bowed out. So I just decided to take in one of the little wood files that I had and kind of just take in that spot a little bit more, little by little, like very, very little by little. Okay. And after I was satisfied, I cleaned off my nails. So yeah, I do want to say, so this is kind of an extension of my probably previously posted video. The drill was PR that I used today, and I wanted to see how it would hold up since it is a less powerful drill than the one that I normally use to do like some basic fill in, clean up, you know what I mean, and acrylic work, and I have absolutely no complaints. I said it in my last video, but I'm definitely going to solidify the fact that if it holds out as long as my full-size drill did, then it's definitely going to be my content or, you know, my creation or personal drill, just because it's so easy to use. It's very lightweight. It works very, very well. And you know, I can just sit it on my desk and it doesn't take up a lot of room because it is like pen size. So please let me know what you thought of today's video. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I hope that you'll join me for future videos.